1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. What the hell's going on here? I got sound clashing. Yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. And it is, hold on a second. Let's make this official. Let's make this official. Let's get the music crunk. Let's get the music right. Okay. Yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And it is Boxing Talk with Raphie. What episode are we on? Boxing Talk with Raphie 64. I just had a check at my playlist. And apparently there are 90 live shows in the playlist, in the live show playlist. That means we're 10 shy of the 100. Boxing Talk with Raphie is 10 shy of the 100. The century. Unbelievable. Seems like just yesterday when I was doing the first live stream on this channel. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so first and foremost, gotta give Monique Thompson a warm salute. She was in here waiting for me. Very kind of you, Monique. Okay, so what have we got in line for today? What's on the agenda? Well, we're going to be talking about some of the topics involved. Will be Joe Joyce, Errol Spence, Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, Michael Hunter, and Bivol. Yes, Monique. Okay, so where do we begin? Well, first of all, let me get my uplighting in place. Let me get the uplighting right. Let me get the lighting right. Let me set the mood. Let me get the volume down on this. Let me check my volumes. Let me check the meters. Make sure that everything is present and correct. Everything's in ship shape. Okay. I got my pad ready. I got my refreshment, my aqua ready. And now, what the hell? As a matter of fact, I've got an idea. I've just had a brilliant idea. While I'm waiting for the place to populate, while I'm waiting for people to get in the place. Why not think of this before? Why don't I go old school, do what I used to do, and play a video? Why don't I play a video? Let me select it like I used to do. Get a video crunk. Get a video to warm in. A warm in video. Okay, let's pick a short one. Let us pick a short one. Okay, let me select. Let me select. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's get a retro one. Let's go back in time. Let's scroll down, way down. Let's go way down. What's this one here? No, that's a long one. What the hell is this? It's limited me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a short one. This is a short one. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I share my screen? Let's share the screen. Let's share the screen. Share. Boom. Okay. Let me select. Okay. This is a belated one. A belated birthday greeting. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Quiet. Stop. Let's kill the music. Let's kill the music and let us go.
Yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. If you like the content but haven't subscribed already, please kindly do so by hitting that bell icon. And today, we're celebrating the birthday of Tyson Fury. Okay. And what a year it has been. Okay, let's get into it. So, Tyson, the so-called lineal champion, Fury, has had one heck of a year. Where are we? Where's Boxrec? Let's go and have a take a quick look. Okay, so we see that in December 2018, he drew with split decision draw with Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber. So he went on to face the man like Tom Schwartz. He gave Tom Schwartz the opportunity, magnanimous as he is, he gave Tom Schwartz the opportunity to fight for his lineal championship belt. Unfortunately for Schwartz, he fell short. But one has to admire the magnanimity of Tyson Fury to allow Tom Schwartz to fight for his lineal championship belt. So after the draw with Deontay, the bronze bomber Wilder, what's that? What's going on there? He faced the German Tom Schwartz, and what a year it has been. In that fight, he showed shades of Ali, absolute shades of Ali, and emerged victorious. So, what's next for the lineal champ, the so-called lineal champ Tyson Fury? What's next? How's he gonna round off what has been a great year? I'm including December of 2018 in that. And finishing it with the devastating defeat of the German Tom Schwartz. What else? Shades of Ali. What else can the so-called lineal champ do? What else can he do? Tell you what he can do. He can give Otto Wallin a shot. is giving Otto Wallin a shot at his lineal championship belt. That's right. Otto Wallin the Swede. You may not have heard of him, but the magnanimous Tyson lineal champ Fury is allowing this man here, Otto Wallin, there he is again, Otto Wallin, the next shot at his lineal championship belt. What a year it has been. There he is again, Otto Wallin. And let's not forget, there he is again, bit too, fills the screen a bit too much there. And let's not forget that Tyson Fury also donated his purse from the fight with, where is he? There he is. From the fight with Deontay Wilder, donated his whole entire purse to charity for the homeless, if I'm not mistaken. Believe he's building some homes, or the charity is building some homes. He has refused to comment on that since. After the fight, he refused to comment. He says he doesn't want any praise. What a man, what a man, what a man. So, drawing with the bronze bomber, beating the German Tom Schwartz, and now facing Otto Wallin from Sweden, giving Otto Wallin the chance for a shot at his lineal championship belt. What a hell of a guy. Let's not forget all that money he gave to charity, but refuses to speak about. How can you not admire that? What's there not to love? What is there not to love? So, in all seriousness, happy belated birthday to the one Tyson Fury. Happy birthday, mate. Let's have it, you big gasser. Happy birthday, Tyson Fury. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'm out.
Okay. Let's get the music back. That was a warming video, folks. That was the retro style. That's how I used to do it. Let us get the music back. Okay. Let me check. Okay, the like button has been smashed multiple times, multiple occasions. And we've had the warming video. So I think now is the time. Now is the time for us to get into it. Let's start with the first topic. And for anybody who's just tuned in, this is Boxing Talk with Raphie. Episode 60, what is it? 64. Yeah, okay. Let's go. First topic. Let's look for the first topic. Where are we going to start? Okay, I think I know. Yes, let's share the screen again. Screen share. Okay. So, Dana White has come out and said, the UFC president, Dana White, believes heavyweight contender, we might as well stay on the Tyson Fury topic. Started with the video, might as well continue through with the first topic on Tyson Fury, lineal champ. Okay, and UFC president Dana White believes heavyweight contender Tyson Fury would get seriously manhandled. I don't want to say hurt, manhandled if he attempted to make a run in mixed martial arts, especially in the UFC. Last month, Tyson Fury made his debut in pro wrestling when he entered the ring in Saudi Arabia to win a match against the WWE superstar Braun Strowman by knockout. Still haven't seen that yet. Who has seen that? Who has seen that fight? That match? That WWE match? Who's seen that? Still haven't seen that yet. I'll have to give that a gander at some point, or maybe not. What's the arm? After achieving his dream of taking part in a WWE match, Fury has now expressed his desire to enter the world of the UFC. And Fury, who says Conor McGregor will help him prepare, wants to fight the very best that the UFC has to offer. Really? Why would he want that then? Why would he want that? He doesn't want to fight the best that boxing has to offer. So how the hell is he going to want to fight the best that the UFC has to offer? Why would you want to fight the best mixed martial artists? I find that hard to believe, but hey, never say never, right? Okay. So I think these are the words of Tyson Fury. Okay. I spoke to Conor. And we're ready to rock and roll. McGregor is making his comeback. I'm looking at stepping into the MMA world. It's a talking process at the minute. I'm dipping my toe in all waters right now, like WWE. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got WWE now. My book, my autobiography, ITV documentary, a song with Robbie Williams, a big Deontay Wilder rematch, and then, fingers in all pies. Yeah, make sure the pies aren't too hot, Tyson. Make sure the pies have not just come out of the oven. You might burn your fingertips, mate. Be careful. I'm trying to get that big fight going on with whoever. Listen, I'm not afraid of any of them. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC? Stipe Miocic, isn't it? Stipe Miocic. He's just beat Daniel Cormier in the rematch. Good body shots. Bam, bam. Got them out of there. I'll fight him in a heartbeat. No problem. No problem. Or Francis Ngannou. Any of the heavyweight champions they've got. I'll fight them. I ain't afraid of any of them. I'm the Gypsy King. I'm the lineal champion. Listen, I'm a boxer. But I'm one badass mofo. I'm one badass mofo. However, White believes Fury would be crazy even to attempt to run in the UFC because it won't turn out well. Fury has worked hard his whole life to become one of the top 4 heavyweights in the world in boxing. Why would he even want to come over here and attempt this? I don't think it ends well for him. It doesn't make sense for his career, White said. Fury is slated to take part in a rematch with the WBC world champion Deontay Wilder in February, provided Wilder defeats Luis Ortiz later this month. Okay, and that was the article titled Dana White, Fury attempting a UFC run would not end well. Okay. Where are we now? Yes. Let me put the link in the chat. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so where are we? Where are we in the chat? Okay, so we got Monique Thompson. We have Big Boys Boxing. Where are we? Let's get these Let's get these comments up on the screen. Warmed in with a nice little warming video, just like the old days, bringing it back. As a real Aussie would say, you're bloody dreaming, mate. Tyson will get creamed in MMA. It's not playtime like the WWE. What is up? What is up, says John Daly. Okay. So I guess that's the first topic. Link is in the chat. Tyson Fury in the UFC. What do I say? I say, you must be out of your tree, mate. You must be absolutely out of your tree. This grappling game, the ground game, the wrestling, that takes years and years of work, my friend. Years and years of application. You know, there's people out there in the game. There's people out there in MMA who've been doing it since they were kiddies. They've been wrestling since they were kiddies. Yeah? You don't need that deeper wrestling credential or grappling credentials, but I would say at minimum, you would need a year of intense ground training. You would need a year of intense ground training. You know what I'm saying? That's like a minimum of what? 3 days a week? A minimum of 3 days per week to get up to par, to be at a level where you just had your basics, good basics. You can get good basics with a solid year of ground training. You can get good, solid ground basics with a good year of ground training, with a good teacher, good instructor. But that would be at least 3 times a week. Really and truly, probably 4. You're looking at 4, because then you'll be looking at the throws. You're looking at defending the takedown. There's specific ways to defend the takedown, because obviously anybody fighting in the UFC who's going to go up against Tyson, they don't want to stand up with him. They don't want to stand up with him. They want to take him down. So you need a solid takedown defense. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward to learn, but you still repetition. You'd have to be repeating the process multiple times per week. And then you're actually talking about the ground game when you're on your back. Well, first of all, you'll be learning the scramble. So when you learn the takedown defense, you may still go down. The hips might be down. You got to keep your legs out, stretched away from your opponent. And then you're looking for the scramble. You're looking to scramble back up. If you fail to scramble back up, now you're on your back. Now with the long levers, could actually work for you or against you. With those long levers, if you keep the head down, your opponent down, push against the hips, then you could kick him off. You can kick the opponent off. And yeah, so now you've kicked him off and he's jumped straight back in again. So what are you doing now? Now you're on your back flat. Now you've got to learn how to work your feet, work your legs, keep separation while you're keeping the head down. So you're looking to keep his head down on your chest while keeping his hips back with your feet. Okay, so that's how the long legs could work for you right now. So you got him straightened out while you've got his head trapped in your chest. Okay, now you're looking at the reversals. What you're looking there is to push, is to hook one leg. Let's say you're on your back. You hook his left leg with your right leg. And then with your left foot, you want to pivot. You want to push him over. So he comes falling over on your right side. And you want to roll over to your right side. Now you've got the mount position. Sounds easy. Not that easy. Now you're on top. Now you can work your ground and pound while learning how to use your base. Keep your base low and central. Be heavy on top. Some people are light when they're on top, but people who know how to distribute their weight well can be heavy on top. Yeah, I was always heavy on top. Keep your weight low. Keep your body, keep your central point of gravity low. Yeah, you want to get those, work those forearms, work those punches, but keeping your center of gravity low. That's what makes you heavy on top. Okay, and from there, you're probably going to want to stand up again. So you want to get some damage in, get some punches in, elbows in, and then stand up, get back to your feet. And then that's where Tyson wants to be. So that would be the recipe. 1 year of grappling, primarily grappling, working the transitions, working the takedowns, learning about the throws, learning about the knees. Really, it's one solid year of mixed martial arts. Big boys boxing in the building.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bud. I'm good, man. I'm good. Almost slept through this. You know what I'm saying? I just decided to have a 10-minute nap. I decided to have a 10-minute nap pre-show. Open my eyes and damn, it was 9:45 already. So, you know, bam, just came with the old school style of doing the warm-in video, and all was right with the world. Okay, so Tyson Fury. Talking about doing a lot of talking. This time he's talking about MMA, UFC.
I hope that's as far as it goes, because he's going to be sorry if he gets in that octagon.
I sincerely hope he's not being serious, because the octagon, I fear the octagon would be an extremely lonely place for Tyson Fury.
Indeed. He's a boxer, and he's not nimble or fluid enough. You know, he's too big for MMA. You don't see guys doing MMA that are 6'9" and being effective.
No, you don't. You don't see it. There was one guy in the past called Semi Schiltz. Where is he from? Holland? Pretty sure Semi Schiltz was from Holland. This is back in the Pride days. He was in Pride, probably going back 15 years ago when I first started training it. And he must have been 6'9". No, he's super tall. He was like 6'10". 6'10". He was ridiculously tall, but I know he's more than 6'9". And he started off as a karate guy, kickboxing guy, striking guy, and he was good at it. He was good at it with his long limbs. You see, but then he decided to transition. I don't know why these guys love to transition so much. I don't know. Maybe the Money in Pride. The Money in Pride was really good back 15 years ago. It was a bigger organization. You'd have like in between 30,000 and up to 60,000 in the auditoriums, massive stadium fights, and so I guess the money was good in Japanese MMA at that time, and he decided to transition into MMA. In the striking phase, he was very good, but as soon as he got on his back, he was like a whale. He was like a whale on the stand. He was like a beast whale.
There's a big difference between Tyson Fury and that guy too, though. He was a martial artist most of his life, by the sounds of it. Tyson Fury's a boxer.
Yeah, he'd be even worse.
It'd be even worse.
It'd be even worse for Tyson Fury. You know, it's just, he's not built. I don't see how he's built for the grappling, the ground grappling. There's stand-up grappling, Greco-Roman grappling is largely stand-up, but we're not talking about stand-up grappling. We're talking about ground grappling. We're talking about flexibility and agility, and I don't see that agility on the ground in Tyson Fury. It's too long. He's just simply too long. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
These guys will be running circles around him. Okay, so that is That's Tyson Fury and his ambitions for grappling. Let me look for the second topic. We're gonna go straight in. Let me mark this one off. Where's the pen? Where is it here? Did I even have that on the list? Did I? Yeah, I did. Yes. Oh, why don't we do 2 Tyson Furies back to back? Why don't we do 2 Tyson Furies back to back? Okay, let's do that. Let's do 2 Tyson Furies back to back. So, Tyson Fury has come out. Have you seen Tyson Fury's message?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So Tyson Fury has sent an Instagram message to Deontay Wilder. Oh, sorry. Before I do that, let me just address the chat for a second, see what's going on. John Dealey says there's a reason that Floyd, who is an infinitely better boxer than Tyson Fury, fought Conor in a boxing match, not a UFC match. Tyson wouldn't last around in the UFC. Damn. I have to agree. And there is a reason. There's a damn good reason why Floyd Mayweather opted to fight Conor McGregor in a boxing match. That was very sensible of him, because it wouldn't have ended well in an MMA match. And that's why I tell the story of the first time I did some MMA sparring. It was at a wrestling gym, actually. I was sparring with the tutor, the instructor, who's a wrestler, strong wrestler. I threw a punch, and the next thing I knew, I was staring up at the ceiling, the lights in the ceiling. That's what it's like when you're dealing with when you're mixing the MMA. When you're mixing in with the MMA, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. Big boys boxing.
Totally agree, man. Boxers should stick to boxing. Yeah, UFC fighters can come and fight them in boxing, but
yeah,
it's not a good sport for boxers to get into.
No, it is not. Absolutely not. We saw what happened to James Toney. Randy Couture took him out within a round. It was smoked. It was not even funny. Philip Carl Roberts says Fury would need punching power in MMA, but he hasn't got that attribute. Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm inclined to agree. Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald was a brutal and all stand-up. David Mason, that's an interesting point. You see, MMA can be all stand-up. It can be.
Yeah, but if the opponent isn't agile and he's big, long, and tall and can't grapple, then it's going to be takedown time.
Exactly. Nobody's going to go in there and decide to stand up with Tyson Fury, David Mason. They're going to take him right down. And when you do see 2 MMA guys stand up, it's either because one of them is so good. Well, what's the permutations? Okay, first of all, you could have 2 guys who prefer to stand up. So if you have 2 guys who are, let's say, 2 kickboxers, because they won't be boxers because they will need to know about the takedowns and the wrestling. So let's say, and they're only using 2 points. You're only using 2 points if you're a boxer. With a kickboxing guy or a Muay Thai guy, with a kickboxing guy using 4 points of contact. What's that? The fists and the shins primarily. And the sole of the feet with the teep kick. So, okay, 4 to 6 points of contact. With the Muay Thai guy, he's using the fists, the forearms, the actual elbow, the knees, the shins, and maybe the teep kick. So that's like 6 points of contact, or 8. 8 different points of contact. He's using 8 different tools, striking tools. So let's say you got 2 guys who prefer to stand up and they want to stand up. Then you'll have a stand-up war. But even then, if one guy decides, no, this guy's stand-up is too good for me, then he will invariably go for the takedown. So if you do see two guys standing up, it's not because they don't know the grappling game. It's just because they prefer to stand up. They fancy their chances with the other guy standing up. Each guy thinks he can beat the other guy standing up, and they want to have a stand-up war. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that the UFC noted was that they got the highest ratings when the fight was a stand-up war. So primarily with the fight just gone, the main event just gone, the main UFC event that held up the boxing event, that was primarily a stand-up war. Masvidal prefers to stand up, although he's great on the ground. He can submit you, choke the living you-know-what out of you on the ground. Nate Diaz loves his boxing. He actually was a sparring partner of Andre Ward. And Andre Ward have complimented the Diaz brothers on being great sparring partners. So yeah, certain MMA guys are very competent in the stand-up phase. And so if you get two of those guys together, they may want to give a stand-up war because they know those tend to be fan favorites. But it's not because they don't know the ground game.
No, you can get, fighters in MMA will fight to their strengths, but also to the opponent's weaknesses. You can get two guys that are excellent grapplers and have excellent ground games, but if one of them has a weaker stand-up game, the stronger stand-up guy might choose to try and fight standing up rather than on the ground. So, so many different ways it can go.
So many different ways, so many options. And one guy could be winning. The same guy you just talked about who felt he was stronger in the stand-up game. He might get cracked and wobbled, and all of a sudden, boom, he says, nah, forget this. Let's go to the ground. He'll go for a takedown. All of a sudden, out of the blue. So there's just so many different permutations. Philip Carl Roberts says, Dillian Whyte has had one MMA fight. He KO'd the other guy in 9 seconds with a left hook, apparently. Whyte is better suited because of his kickboxing and K1 background. Well, yeah, Dillian Whyte used to spar with Quinton Rampage Jackson, who was in Pride, started his career in King of the Cage, then went over to Pride in Japan and had a very accomplished career over there before he, in his later years, switched over to the UFC. I think they bought Pride out or were buying Pride out. They bought it out. No, I think he left before the buyout. He left before the buyout, made him a big money offer. He came over to the UFC. And I think, he had one warm-up fight with Marvin Eastman. And then his next fight was with the guy who was the light heavyweight champion at the time, and that was Chuck Liddell. And if memory serves me correctly, he gave Chuck Liddell a brutal KO. Chuck Liddell was the man at the time. But Quinton Rampage Jackson knocked him out. Brutal shot. And he became the king of the light heavyweight division. So how does that translate, Dillian Whyte? Oh, yeah. So Dillian Whyte sparred with Quinton Rampage Jackson. And Dillian Whyte started off in kickboxing, remember? Did some training with on the ground, grappling. So he was suited to MMA. You're right. If there's a heavyweight boxer out there right now who is suited to MMA, that would be more likely to be Dillian, the body snatcher, Whyte. Toby Bartlett in the building. Yes, Toby. Good to see you back, me old spud. Smash that like button, people. Where is Toby? Toby Bartlett, there he is. Okay, that's sorted out. All right. Where are we? Ray Mercer beat Tim Sylvia. That was a funny one. Tim Sylvia was we're talking a little bit of MMA, folks. Well, not really MMA, but where MMA intersects with boxing for a couple more minutes. Then we'll go into the pure boxing. Do not be alarmed. Ray Mercer beat Tim Sylvia. Tim Sylvia, for those who don't know, was a heavyweight champion. He was about 6'9" himself. I tell you what, that might be an interesting fight. Tim Sylvia, mind he's retired by now. Yeah, so he was a UFC heavyweight champion. Got popped for steroids. Used to be a big, hefty. Basically, he was a lot like Tyson Fury when in Tyson Fury fat days. Big, hefty lump of a fella, 6'9".
Giant butterbean.
Yes. One hell of a big mofo. But then he slimmed down. When he got into the UFC, he slimmed down. Still big, but slimmer. Later on, it turns out that he had some performance-enhancing drugs in his system. But Ray, after he left the UFC, he decided to have, what was it? It wasn't even a boxing match. It was an MMA match. Ray Mercer decided to have an MMA match. They must have made him a nice little offer. Ray Mercer was at the end of his boxing career pretty much. And so he thought, yeah, I'll go in there with Tim Sylvia. I thought that was a crazy idea, but he did it. And they both walked to the center of the octagon. Ray Mercer threw out a right hook. And Tim Sylvia went down like a big tree.
Timber.
You'd have thought the MMA guys would have been pissed, but they weren't. It was just merriment and laughter and mirth. He just went down so slow. He just went down so slow. It was ridiculous. It was like he walked to the center of the octagon and he thought, I don't know what he was thinking. He's like, yeah, let me just feel out. Feel out. Ray Mercer wanted to get the hell out of there as soon as possible. And he just came with a Hail Mary right hand. And that was all she wrote. One punch, but Mercer lost it. Oh, yeah, Kimbo Slice. You're bringing me back down memory lane, Philip Carl Roberts. Take me back down memory lane. Yeah, Ray Mercer lost to Kimbo Slice as soon as he went to the ground. Mercer had no chance. No chance at all. He was clueless. Absolutely clueless. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't know why. Everybody thinks they can wrestle until you get in there. People think that you've got an automatic wrestling button where you can automatically wrestle. No. And even Kimbo Slice wasn't a proficient wrestler, but obviously he'd had enough experience because he went on the Ultimate Fighter show, where they go in a house for like 2 months or something like that. So he was grappling every day. So obviously, again, somebody like Ray Mercer, who probably had who probably convinced himself, yeah, this ain't going to go to the ground. We're going to keep this standing. No way, Jose. Where am I? Lost myself in the chat. Let's scroll down a little more. Where are we? Tim Sylvia beat that world's strongest man. Yeah, Mariusz Pudzianowski or whatever his name was. That was a hilarious fight too for anybody who's never seen that fight. Let me write this in the chat because that is hilarious. Let me write this so it'll be in the permanent chat. That is a fight to behold. Tim Sylvia fought Mariusz Pudzianowski or whatever his name is, the world's strongest man. You ever watch that Big Boys Boxing, the world's strongest man?
I've watched it a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah. There was a Polish guy, Tim Sylvia. That's why. Let me spell this. Let me try and spell this right. L. Sylvia, I think, versus Mariusz Pudzianowski. I'm just going to try and make this up. Pudzianowski. That's not the right spelling, but we'll have to do for now. Recommended viewing. Recommended viewing.
Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Yeah.
It's up on YouTube. I've just checked.
That fight was absolutely hilarious. Simply because Mariusz Pudzianowski, he went, first of all, he went purple. His whole body went purple. Then it went green. He was roided out to the max, and his body just kept on changing colors. His body just kept on changing colors. It was something to behold. It's hilarious. That's recommended viewing. That's in the permanent chat. She's biz up in the building. It's a good one. Andre Ward employed MMA tactics in the boxing ring. Again, Sir Kovalev, he certainly did. Certainly did. Where are we? Scrolling down. I think we're almost at the bottom. Yeah, good point. 15 watching, only 11 thumbs up. Step the game up, peeps. Step the game up. Hit that like button like Tyson hitting the canvas after the takedown. Yeah, wrestling is a very difficult art to master. Unfortunately, it doesn't translate as an entertaining spectacle. Yeah, it's a question of what you like, John. It's a question of what you like. I mean, I've always been fond of Olympic wrestling. Some of those guys, pound for pound, are the strongest athletes in the world. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wants to get in shape, I recommend you do wrestling 3 times a week. The constant toing and throwing, the pulling and what have you. It's amazing. It's amazing for getting in shape. It's incredible. But okay, we've reached the bottom of the chat, so that is mission accomplished. And now I look for my next topic. That one has been rubbed off the sheet. And where are we going to go now? We are going to go Tony Harrison versus Jamel Charlo rematch, December 21st. What's that? 4 days before Christmas. That's interesting. So, as we know, Tony Harrison received an injury. Did you watch the first fight, Big Boys Boxing?
I did.
Yeah. You want to share your thoughts on that? On the rematch?
Yeah.
Or first one, second one? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the first one, I thought Charlo was possibly trying to go for a knockout. And we know as it happens, most of the time, if you go for a knockout, it doesn't come. If you just go about your business, do your boxing, and if the knockout was supposed to come, it's going to come.
Yeah.
And Tony Harrison was, what's his first name again?
Yeah, it is Tony. Yeah, Tony Harrison.
Oh, it is Tony?
Yeah.
Tony Harrison did a good job of being evasive, popping a jab out there, basically outboxed Charlo. I know a lot of people, including Charlo, thought he still won the fight, but I couldn't see it. I thought it was close.
Yeah.
So anyone who screams robbery, I think, is kidding themselves. You can't call a close fight a robbery.
No.
But I think it's going to be interesting second time around as well. Tony Harrison, is he going to have the stamina to deal with what Charlo's going to bring? I think Charlo's going to be a lot smarter this time around. He wants his belt back. I think it's going to be a very entertaining, competitive fight. And honestly, I can't pick a winner.
Yeah. Who did you think won the first time?
I think Harrison pipped it just by a round, so 115, 113 for me.
Yeah. I thought Harrison won too. There was a lot of controversy over that fight. A lot of people, as you state, were saying it's a robbery. It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't a robbery to me. Tony Harrison was just the smarter boxer. It was similar to. Not similar, but in some ways, slightly similar to the Canelo versus Kovalev, in so much as that you had one guy who was clearly winning the boxing and one guy who was the aggressor. The other guy was the aggressor. But aggression without scoring does not equal a win.
Correct.
Yeah. So Charlo just was looking, marching him down and trying to land that haymaker, trying to land that finishing punch. But he wasn't there, and he wasn't scoring enough in the meantime. So it's like you say. I mean, yeah, by all means, look for the knockout. by all means. But better still, fight or box and let the knockout come whilst you're boxing.
Yeah. Wait for that opportunity. If it's meant to come, it'll come.
It'll come. It'll come. But you're not gonna. But you should be boxing in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be boxing in the meantime. You can't just keep looking for that one punch knockout. That's ridiculous. That's how you lose fights, looking for that one punch knockout. You gotta work in the meantime. You gotta set things up. You gotta box. You gotta look to break your man down. Systematically break your man down and then put it on him. This time around, I am going to go for Charlo. I'm going to go for Charlo, and I'm even going to predict his style. I'm even going to predict his approach, his style approach to the fight. This time, he has to box him. This time, he has to be mindful. His objective has to be to outscore the guy whilst looking for the knockout. Let the knockout come. In fact, don't even look for the knockout. Let the knockout come. Do you know what I'm saying? While you're outboxing your opponent, or certainly outscoring him. So that's the way I see the rematch going. What's your prediction? Did you say 50-50?
I was saying 50-50, but I'm thinking, yeah, maybe Charlo with his intent on getting his belt back, I think is going to be the difference. I don't think he's going to leave anything to chance this time. So, yeah, I'll probably go with Charlo as well. I'll probably go on points.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, for real. That is a good shout. I don't know the technique. I don't know if he's going to knock him out or finish him, but most likely, yeah, I think points is the most likely outcome because Tony Harrison does have boxing skills, and I can see him trying to keep himself out of harm's way whilst scoring as well. I see it being a very, very close fight, and Charlo getting the edge. Okay, so damn, 52 minutes gone already. That's amazing. We are moving at a rapid speed. Let me pick the next topic. Smash that like button, folks. And anybody in the building, anybody in the chat, anybody watching who has not subscribed already, please kindly do so by clicking the bell icon and click all notifications to stay updated with news and notifications. And anybody who's on Twitter likes to be updated with boxing news on Twitter. My Twitter link is in the description box. As we move on and look for our next topic, I got lots of topics on my topic sheet today. Okay, where are we? Which one? Which way are we gonna go? Which way are we gonna go? We got some biggies. We got a couple of biggies. I don't want to get into those too quickly. Oh, this is a biggie, but maybe we should get into this now. This is a biggie, and maybe we should get into it now. I think we will. I think we are going to get into this biggie now. Okay, boom. Right, so there's been some talk. I think there was a tweet. I think it was a tweet by Michael Benson, if I'm not mistaken, that there are doubts. There are doubts about Errol Spence's return to the ring. And it's kind of interesting because I had said, let me look over here, I'm just checking something. Okay, yeah, excellent. Everything's in good shape. Okay, I had said at the time, or actually, I think it was John Dealey. John Dealey said at the time that he doesn't think this is around the time of the car crash, that he doesn't think Spence will return to the ring. I was quite surprised to hear such bold words. But then when you put the pieces together, you're traveling in a speeding Ferrari, which flips over multiple times. with no seatbelt. It's not as if you're in racing gear. You've got no helmet. You've got no racing track, whatever they call them outfits on, overalls. You're not in Kevlar overalls. You got no Kevlar gloves on. And you are flying out of a speeding sports car, soft top. We only reported damage of some cracked teeth and some skin lacerations. And you have to think to yourself, hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Let's think about this. What are the chances that you're just going to walk away from the wreckage scot-free? And you're a high level sportsman. What are the chances that you are going to just simply waltz back in to your profession scot-free without any remnants of damage? And you're supposed to be performing at the highest possible level. If you think about it logically, the chances are you may not be physically the same man you were before the crash. Big Boys Boxing.
Yep, I've had my suspicions that there was more to the injuries. The statements that there was no broken bones. He suffered broken teeth and skin lacerations. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, you don't get put into intensive care for that. So, was there some kind of brain swelling from the impact? There's a lot of things that could be that aren't broken bones. Mm-hmm. But like you say, the percentages of walking away from it are pretty low in itself. But then there could be long-term effects from some kind of internal injuries or something else. So, and it's also aroused suspicion for me since Spence has gone radio silence on social media since his "I'm a Savage" comment. Yeah. What's going on? There's something going on. Mm-hmm. We just don't know what it is yet. So, I my prayers are with him. I hope he does come back. I hope he comes back 100%. And if he does, he's very lucky. But for me, there's suspicion that there's something else that we don't know about, and that's extremely unfortunate.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted too. So.
Yeah. I'm very, very suspicious about the radio silence. We haven't seen any pictures of. Have we seen any pictures of him? Have you seen any pictures of him?
Nah, man.
No. There's been no pictures of him. We just saw a tweet, or was it an Instagram message? Either way, it's a social media message, and that went up and it came down, and we have seen. We've not seen him. We've not heard from him. I think the chances of him being the same man, physically the same man after the crash that he was prior to the crash, are unfortunately slim. I hope he's 100%. I hope he comes back to 100%. But the chances of that happening are, in my view, they are slim. Although I'm hopeful and optimistic. You don't hate to see a great talent cut down in the prime of their career. If even only for selfish reasons, we want to see great fights. We want to see great fighters fighting. And the fact that it was self-inflicted makes it even worse. But, what are the chances? In the chat, we have not a poll in a while. So let's do a poll. Let's wake everybody up and let's do a poll. Each person, what do you think, Errol, or the percentage? What percentage? 100% being the same as before. What percentage do you give Errol Spence on his comeback? How good will he be in percentage terms in comparison to how he was before he left? So what percentage of Errol Spence will be coming back into the ring? Do you expect to see him come back into the ring? If you don't expect to see him come back in the ring, then obviously you're putting down a 0%. If you think he's going to be as good as he was before, then that's 100%. So let's wake the chat up and put your percentages in. I know there's time delay, so I'll continue while you ruminate and type. Yeah, so I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very, very wrong. But at the moment, I fear that we will never see a 100% Errol Spence if he does make it back to the ring. That would be most unfortunate. But hopefully, looking on the bright side, hopefully he has made some money. Obviously, he bought a Ferrari, so he made some money. Obviously, hopefully, he put the bulk of that money aside for the future and doesn't end up like some sports stars we have seen in the past who as soon as their career was over, they were broke, or they were broke within 24 months of their career being over. I hope he was not one of the foolish ones. That said, he just got a big paycheck for his last fight, so he wouldn't have had a chance to spend that yet. So all of that, if his career is over, all of that will have to be for the future. And I'll read this. Keep putting your responses in the chat while I read this one from David Mason. Does everyone think that it is still a good idea for Ruiz versus Junior 2 to take place in Saudi Arabia after Mohammed bin Salman made all the WWE people get off the plane home and sit on the tarmac for what? I haven't even heard this. What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? I have to look into this one. WWE stars sit on tarmac. What the hell? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? This is a real story. This is a real story. What the hell? I had not heard anything about this. Had you, Big Boys Boxing?
Nah, man. First I heard.
What the hell? Hey guys, when you get stories like this, my email address is in the you can find that. All you have to do is go to my channel and go to the about section and you'll find my email address. So if you get a story, if you get a juicy one like this, all you have to do is go into the email. In fact, I'll put it in the description link as well. Go to the email, send me a link to the story, because this one's crazy. This one is absolutely nuts. Never even heard of it. But let me share. Let me share. Guys, get your responses in. Get your responses into the Errol Spence question. I'll come back to that in a second, but this story is crazy. Never heard nothing about it. Okay, so Never Again, says the title. WWE forced to deny nearly 200 wrestlers and crew were held hostage in Saudi Arabia after the Crown Jewel event. What the hell? WWE have denied claims nearly 200 wrestlers and crew members were held hostage by Saudi Arabia following a row over money after last week's Crown Jewel event. What the hell? A number of stars were forced to miss Friday's edition of SmackDown Live after their flight home from the pay-per-view in Riyadh the night before was delayed. What the hell? There's a picture there as well. What the hell? Luke Harper, who posted this snap on Instagram last week, was one of the WWE wrestlers delayed in Saudi Arabia. Several outlets have claimed Saudi ruler Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman may have ordered 175 employees off the plane to sit on the tarmac for 6 hours. Good Lord. WWE insists that the delay was due to mechanical issues. According to U.S. reports, Mohammed bin Salman was furious. WWE CEO Vince McMahon pulled the plug on the live feed of Crown Jewel in Saudi because the company was owed around $390 million for 2 previous shows in the Middle East country last year. Good Lord, how the hell did I not hear about this? It was also claimed that an agreement was thrashed out after Crown Jewel had already begun, 40 minutes after the broadcast was due to begin. What does that say? It was also claimed that an agreement was thrashed out after Crown Jewel had already begun, 40 minutes after the broadcast was due to begin. Okay, so it begun, but not yet broadcasted. Okay. However, despite the live feed being turned back on, that did not stop WWE's entourage having a 14-hour delay when trying to leave. McMahon, Hulk Hogan, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman, and boxing star Tyson Fury all managed to get out of there quickly on their own private jets. But that left those behind furious, with a number of them vowing never to go back to Saudi. Damn, this is complete and you see, guys, this is what you get on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Boxing Talk with Raphie. We get the breaking news. Damn, what's the date today? It's the 6th. And this came out on the 6th. This is fresh news, ladies and gentlemen. This is fresh news. Carl Anderson, part of the original club. What club? Tweeted, couldn't pay me enough to go back. Well, that's not true. I need a second pool. So, with his wife, Teeny, responding, don't ever go back. We don't need our daddy being held hostage while we're at home worried to death. Good Lord. This is crazy. Crazy. Guys, if you get stories like this in the future, just go into the channel in the About section, send the link to me via email. That'll be much appreciated. This is crazy. Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer claimed military police were sent to the airport. He reported the talent felt they were hostages. Nobody was harmed or anything like that. But it was a really tense story. Ex-WWE announcer Hugo Savincio also posted a Facebook video claiming the real reason behind the delay was Saudi retaliation for the live feed being pulled. And the Wrestling News website claimed the Crown Prince was so upset by the feed being cut off that he ordered to have the wrestlers taken off Atlas Air just before the plane was due to take off. When confirming the delay last week, a WWE statement said the WWE roster is delayed on its return from Riyadh following a historic performance at yesterday's record-breaking WWE Crown Jewel event. More than 175 production crew, employees, and wrestling stars boarded a 747 charter flight to the United States on Thursday. After the door closed due to several aircraft problems, including mechanical issues, all passengers sat on the tarmac for more than 6 hours. Why would they have to sit on the tarmac? Why would you not go to a proper area? Sitting on the tarmac, that seems like some kind of medieval punishment. With SmackDown set to emanate live from Buffalo, New York. Several superstars felt so strongly that they arranged for their own separate charter in order to make it back to the US for the show. Due to unforeseen issues, that charter will not land until after the live broadcast on Fox. Damn, that is crazy. Utterly crazy. Big boys boxing. I mean, sorry. You fell off. I got you back in.
Yeah, my phone went flat. Had to switch out. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, it's what it is. You know, it's a country that's in civil unrest. There's a lot of people with no money, a lot of people with a lot of money. And those people with a lot of money always want more money. So it creates issues. And if WWE hadn't paid their bills from last time they were in there, well, they've only got themselves to blame, really, haven't they? But
no, it wasn't WWE who hadn't paid. It was the Saudis who hadn't paid them.
Oh my God.
So they pulled the feed. So WWE pulled the live feed from Saudi TV.
Okay, fair enough too. That's what it takes to get the bills paid. Well, so be it.
Yeah, but then the talent are left held hostage, sitting on a tarmac like hostages for what's 8 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, this is one of the risks you take going to Saudi.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's madness. That's some medieval shizzle.
It is.
You know,
hey, lucky it's not the middle of summer there.
Damn straight. Left them sitting out on the damn tarmac for 6 hours. That's some clear retaliation right there.
Yeah.
That's some medieval shizzle. That is totally medieval. That is madness. I cannot believe I did not know about that. I cannot believe I did not know about that. Damn. That's crazy. That's shocking. Utterly shocking. Well, you see, that's what goes down when you unboxing talk with Raphie. You know, the news gets broken here, folks. Right here. If you want to hear some breaking news, just come to Boxing Talk with Raphie. It's crazy. It's crazy, big boys. The amount of times news is broken on here. Things that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The time frame, eh?
It's the time frame. Okay, so what are we talking about here? That's interesting. Oh, so, I was doing something else. Yeah. So Toby Butler says 0%. Toby Butler does not expect Errol Spence back. 0%. Yeah, I think my percentage is a bit higher than that. I hope that's not the case. Toby Butler says Casual Boxing Talk put out a video saying he is to retire and his injuries very serious. I can actually believe that. Tom Smith in the building. I don't know if I've seen you here before, Tom, but I recognize that avatar, so I may have done. I recognize that avatar, so I may have seen you here before. 10%. You're talking about 10%. Damn, that's low. That's low. That is low. John Dealey says, yeah, he saw that article, but there were no sources quoted. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. With the lack of information about the injuries, it might have affected him mentally as well. Yeah, it could be a mental thing, but I'm more inclined to believe it's a physical thing rather than a mental thing. If you got to world record, if you got to championship status in your chosen field, I think you can probably get over the mental thing. If it was a mental thing, I'm more inclined to believe it's a physical thing, but you may be right. No, I don't think. Hold on. How did I skip? Oh, somewhere else. Was I there? Yeah, mental thing. I think he's done. The crash was massive, says Toby Bartlett. Yeah, 0%, says Monique. Let's hope Errol will get through. Errol Spence comes back at 100%. However, I think his comeback fight, if he comes back, he will be 80%. Well, I hope. Yeah, those are good numbers. Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers. Okay. Tyson has said, nah, I don't think Tyson flew out on a chartered jet. On a private jet. The big boys, a number of the guys had private jets, had chartered private jets. So this was more for your lower ranking WWE guys and the crew members who got held hostage. Mechanical issues, yeah, it's a bit of a laugh. Highly unlikely. What's your percentage, Joe? What's the percentage that Errol Spence comes back 100%? What's your percentage? Does he come back 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100? What's your percentage, Joe? If Vince McMahon was really owed that type of money, why would he go there again? I'm very skeptical about the article. I think maybe he's contractually obliged to go there, perhaps. But I see your argument. Yeah, he could just not go. But then if somebody owes you almost 400 million, I think you might just continue to play ball just a little bit longer, maybe, rather than bring things to a head. No, I think the article's true because we saw a picture of the people. Saw a picture, at least one picture, and there was another Facebook post apparently. So I think there is some truth to the story. Big Boys Boxing, I think you were going to say something.
I've just found some more breaking news when you're ready for a gap.
Yeah. Just give me another 30 seconds. Almost come to the end of this. Almost got to the bottom of the chat. Do I get the job as a reporter, Raphie? Yes, Toby Bartlett. Oh, that's David Mason, not Toby. Yeah, you do. You're our correspondent, my friend. Just email me that shizzle when you see it, if you can do in the future. But I saw that this date on the story was today. I thought it was an old story that I'd missed, but since it was today, decided to break it on the show itself. That's all good in the hood. I'm glad you raised it, but it still stands. If you see a story that you think that even interests you, by all means, just please feel free to email the link to me. And that includes everybody in the chat. Feel free to email me links. Some people do, some people don't. Want to get the percentage of people who do up. It's not an obligation. It's purely voluntary. You may do so if you so see fit. Mad, says Monique Thompson. Well, she actually says crazy. I'm saying mad. Toby Bartlett, I agree, John. You're not talking a few quid, so why go back? If you work for someone and don't get paid, you don't go back and work for them again. Well, you kind of do. There were clearly plan issues, but the rest of the article could be all plain issues, could be all spin. Yeah, it could be spin. I believe it to be true, though, at the root. I believe it to be true at the moment. I'm inclined to believe that it is primarily true, although it may be spin. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see in the fullness of time. Big Boys Boxing, hit me.
Do you remember a fight back in June between Maris Briedis and Krzysztof Glowacki?
Yes.
And Maris Briedis he pretty much knocked Glowacki out with an elbow.
Yes, I reported on that. That was a big story. Yes.
So the WBO have ordered an immediate rematch now.
Wow.
They have until, what was the date? November 21st to decide where and when they're going to have a fight.
Wow.
But it's officially been ordered. So, as we know, Krzysztof Glowacki appealed the decision due to the elbow and was unsuccessful. But now the WBO have decided that immediate rematch is in order to settle the dispute. So
Wow, that's awesome. But I just want to get back to something I forgot to elaborate on. Then we come to this because that's big news. What I was saying, Toby Bartlett, what I was saying, Toby, was that businesses are routinely owed large sums of money for people they're working for or giving services to, and they continue to supply on the basis of good faith. So on good faith, they think, yeah, it's going to get sorted. It's going to get sorted. A month goes by, it doesn't get sorted. 2 months goes by, it doesn't get sorted. 3 months go by. But if you're working for the royal family of a country, you will continue to give your services on the basis that you think they're not going to stiff you out of your money. So it's on that basis a lot of businesses go out of business every year because they're owed money. So yeah, it's not unusual for a business to be owed large sums of money. That's the reason I believe it. Does that mean it's a fact? No, but I do believe that that large sums can be accrued. Was it for just 10 million shy of 400? I don't know. But yeah, large sums can be accrued, especially when you think about the people who are commissioning the work. It's a royal family. But then on the flip side of that coin, you know, it can be said that the more money people have, the tighter they are with that money. You know what I'm saying? So
don't get rich by giving it away, man.
Exactly. I had a summer job when I was a schoolboy. I had a summer job, a weekend job actually, at a car wash. It was a hand car wash, and used to do that on Saturdays and some Sundays, limited hours on Sundays. And we all noted, because there was a bunch of kids working there, we all noted that the fancier the car, the less tip we got. Do you know what I'm saying? So the richer the people who came through, the less tips they gave. So I experienced that at first hand as a youngster.
I don't think it has much bearing on the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz fight, though. I can pretty much guarantee you that Saudi Arabia don't owe Eddie Hearn any money.
But I agree with that. But back to so the question was, do we think it's going to affect the Joshua thing? No. I think that was a chartered flight. I think Joshua and them boys are going to be on special flights. So I doubt very much they're going to, because if you notice, the big stars weren't involved. It was the crew, the camera crew, the admin, and what have you. It was the lower tier of the WWE. But all the big boys, they were unaffected. They were out on privately chartered jets. This was a standard charter jet. Do I think it was plane issues? No. I think it was, if it was plane issues, they would have had them nicely ensconced in a nice, cool area inside the airport. But for them to be sitting out on the tarmac, that seems like some kind of retaliation to me.
If it was a plane and they had to sit on the tarmac for 16 hours, surely there would have been another plane available within 16 hours.
Yeah, I would have thought so. So this was some plane. This even before I heard the details about the money owed. This seemed like retaliation. It's a hell of a story. It's incredible, shocking. About the fight was Glowacki versus Bridis.
Yeah,
Glowacki versus Bridis. I covered that in a video. That was a very popular video. The elbow from Glowacki. Was it Glowacki who received the elbow or gave the elbow?
He received it from Bridis.
Received the elbow.
Yeah, he hit Bridis behind the head, and it was retaliation with the elbow.
Yes, that's right. That's a big story. That's what should have happened. I mean, in terms of the rematch, but I didn't think it would because of some time constraints or what have you. But fair play to the WBO for actually, doing the right thing and running it back.
I dropped you the link for the story in Hangouts if you wanted it.
Yeah. Let me bring that up. I had Hangouts on mute, so I didn't realize. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me share that. Let me share that story. Yeah, Toby Bartlett's right. Smash that like button, folks. Boom, boom, boom. British Glowacki. WBO formally orders the rematch. Marius Breedis is officially on the clock. What does that mean? On the clock. The two-time and reigning cruiserweight titleist officially has until November the 21st to decide whether to maintain that status or head into his next bout as a two-time former titleist. He has been mandated to enter into an immediate rematch with Krzysztof Glowacki. The bout was formally ordered by the WBO organization, whose title Breedis claimed in a controversial third-round knockout this past June. Yeah, I remember this very clearly. However, as previously reported on Boxing Scene, Glowacki appealed the outcome with the WBO, which granted the Polish southpaw a partial victory in ordering an immediate rematch, although declining to overturn the official outcome. As per the official award issued by the WBO Complaints and Grievance Committee, dated the 20th of October 2019, regarding, if an accord is not reached within the time frame set forth herein, a purse bid will be ordered pursuant with the WBO regulations. A purse bid hearing has been tentatively set aside for late November in the likely event that the two sides cannot come to terms. The session will open to all WBO registered promoters who must submit a minimum bid of $300,000 in order to obtain promotional rights to the contest. Okay, long story short, these two guys are going to have to get it on. So Breedis remains the champion, but they're going to have to come to an agreement by late November. So that's good news for Glowacki.
It is. He'll get another shot.
I can't remember who was winning the last time. I think it was Breedis. I think Breedis was winning.
Yeah, I think it was. Well, it only went 3 rounds, so it was hard to take too much from it.
Yeah, it was hard to take much from it, but I did fancy Breedis to win that one. Yep. And I fancy him to win the rematch. But the principle is that you can't win. You shouldn't be able to win a championship fight or any kind of boxing bout that way. And so that's very, very good news. For a change, we see an organizer, a governing body acting correctly. That makes a refreshing change.
It does.
Okay, so where are we in proceedings? Let me have a look over there. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat before we move on to the next topic. I don't think it should be moved, but I bet Andy Ruiz wished he had chosen England. Yeah, England would have been a much more sensible option, but Andy Ruiz didn't want that, and Eddie Hearn, no doubt, knew about the money that was on offer from Saudi, and so as soon as Andy Ruiz said, "I don't want to go to England," Eddie goes, "Okay then, no problem, mate."
Made it easy, didn't he?
He made it easy. He just fell right into Eddie's lap. He said, well, Andy Ruiz doesn't want to do it over here. And we really care about how he feels. So we're going to take it to a totally neutral ground of Saudi Arabia, where we can't complain. And they're giving us a extra 50 million. Oh my gosh. I read that neither Wilder or Ortiz have signed up for VAD. Wow. That would be interesting. Wow. Okay, so what was that last topic there? What's the time looking like? Okay, we got another half an hour, another 30 minutes to go. Let me cross this one off the record books. Bivol. Okay, so that was Spence. That's been done. That's about Spence. That's been done. That gets scrubbed off the books. And so now we're pretty much coming up to our final topic, or our penultimate topic. Okay, we could go. Which one do I choose? We could go with Michael Hunter. Yeah, this is our penultimate one. Michael Hunter wants to KO Povetkin. Do I have the article? Do I have the article to share? Let me take a look. Harrison Jamel, I can close that one down. Michael Hunter. Okay, let's share this one. Let me share this one. Smash that like button, folks. If you enjoy the show but have not subscribed, then please kindly do so to stay updated with news and notifications. Okay, so Michael Hunter, as some of you may know, I've done a video on it. Says I'll be pushing for the knockout against Povetkin. Michael Hunter will be hunting for another knockout win when he faces former WBA heavyweight champion Alexander Povetkin. The contest will be part of the undercard to the Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua rematch, which is scheduled to take place at the Darya Arena in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on Saturday, December the 7th. Both boxers was coming back. Really? Both boxers were coming back from big wins. Povetkin 35-2 and 24 KOs returns from his August triumph over Yui Fury, while Hunter 18-1, 12 KOs. Dominated another Russian in the form of the unbeaten Sergey Kuzmin. Okay, Hunter has picked up 6 wins at heavyweight since moving up from cruiserweight, with 4 of those wins coming inside the distance. He made a statement last year with a stoppage over Martin Bakole. If you remember that, Martin Bakole was complaining of a shoulder injury during the fight, and his trainer refused to pull him out. And he went on to
Billy Nelson.
Yeah, that's the one. Trainer came in for what's his name? Billy Nelson? Yeah, Billy Nelson came in for a lot of flack after that. And I think rightly so. If your fighter's telling you that he's injured, then perhaps you should listen. Maybe Big Boys Boxing.
Agreed. He looked like he was in a hell of a lot of pain, and he should have been pulled out. But
interestingly enough, Martin Bakole has stuck with Billy Martin, so perhaps they have a good relationship. One would have to imagine. I guess so. But I wasn't overly chuffed with Billy Martin's decision. Carry on in there. This is like that kind of mentality that we've spoken about before. When the trainers, no, just go on, just get through it, walk it off. You know what I'm saying? That kind of crazy mentality, which I don't agree with. Anyway, Hunter has picked up 6 heavyweight wins since moving up from cruiserweight, with 4 of those wins coming inside the distance. He made a statement win last year, a stoppage of Martin Bakole, and then took down the much bigger Alexander Usyk. Povetkin will be far from an easy task. The Olympic gold medal winner has only been defeated by Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko throughout his career, and only been knocked out by Anthony Joshua. This is a very exciting opportunity for me, and I have got to prove myself once again, said Hunter. Whether you're the underdog or the favorite, it's all the same, because I feel I am the best fighter out there. Damn, strong words by Hunter. I look at this fight with Povetkin as my gold medal fight. I was in the Olympics, and so was he. He won the gold medal, and I didn't. So this is basically my gold medal fight right here. I'm always pushing for the KO. I thrive on making guys quit, so I'm definitely going to push for it. I'm a boxer first, though, and I'm certainly going to be boxing his shoes off. If I see any quit in him, then I'm going to take advantage of that. Sensible approach. Unlike Charlo, who we spoke of before, he's not going out there trying to just one punch knock out the guy. He's going to box first, and if he sees the opening, he will take it. Big boys boxing.
Yeah, I think he's certainly capable of it. I don't think it'll come in the first half of the fight, though, to be honest. I think it'll be a job of accumulation from Hunter, use his skills, box Povetkin's head off until he slows down, and possibly stop him later on. But I'm still picking a decision for that one. And
decision for who?
For Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But just a little bit of information for y'all. Michael Hunter's first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First 7 fights, professional, were heavyweight fights.
Damn.
So he's been there before.
Mm-hmm.
But, looking at his last few wins, it's certainly possible that he could knock out Povetkin. I mean, he didn't knock out Kuzman, but...
No, dropped him.
Yeah, he did drop him, but he knocked out Fabio Maldonado, who's very durable.
Yeah.
He stopped Alexander Ustinov. He stopped Martin Bakole.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped Lago Kaladze, who used to be a cruiserweight. And the last guy that he didn't stop was Tyrell Jamal Woods, who's very much a journeyman, which is interesting.
That's interesting. The journeyman, maybe the journeyman want to make a statement or something of that nature. But then the journeyman can be quite wily at times, depending on the journeyman.
That was Hunter's first fight coming back up to cruiserweight after Alexander Usyk. So there you go.
Come back up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. What do I think about it? Povetkin. Only one man has stopped Povetkin, and that was Anthony Joshua. Only 2 men have beat him. And that was the last one being Anthony Joshua, the first one being Vladimir Klitschko. Anybody who watched that fight will know that was a very, very dirty fight on Klitschko's part. Klitschko lived up to his name, clinched him around the back of the neck, and was just pulling him down, pulling his head down, trying to drag him to the floor. I think he actually dropped him with a neck clinch at one point.
Throwing around like a rag doll half the fight.
That was a very on Queensbury-esque performance by Klitschko. But he was determined to keep Povetkin from getting in his stride, and so resorted to just you'd have to call it that, dirty tactics. Would you call that dirty tactics?
Definitely.
Yeah, it was dirty tactics. He resorted to dirty tactics, and the referee, or should I say, however, the referee didn't appear to have a problem with it. He was letting the dirty work go on. So do I see do I see Hunter KOing Povetkin? Well, that's easier said than done. Easier said than done. However, Povetkin is getting up there now in age. Where is he? 37, 38? He's
40.
40. Damn. The big 4-0. Povetkin is 14 now. So one would have to imagine that his best days are behind him. And if he keeps on fighting, then somebody's going to knock him out, theoretically.
Yeah.
So is the time now, or has Povetkin still got enough in the tank to not get knocked out? And as a matter of fact, can Povetkin win? Can Povetkin knock Hunter out?
I think it's a possibility within the first 6 rounds.
Yeah.
But Hunter's got a really good chin.
Yeah.
And he's really hard to hit flush as well. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's not going to stand there and get left hooked like David Price. There's no way now. So
no.
It'll be tough for Povetkin to get to him. I think we're going to see a lot of frustration from Povetkin and throwing the kitchen sink at Hunter, trying to land that one big shot, and that's going to gas him out, I think.
Yeah, because Hunter's probably one of the most mobile heavyweights there is out there right now.
Agree.
He's exceptionally mobile. He knows how to get on his bike. Lots of movement, a hell of a lot of lateral movement, back, forth, lateral movement. He'll move in any direction. And he doesn't have a problem doing that. He got a little bit tired towards the end of the Kuzmin fight in the last round, but he still had that. Actually, now he came to a bit of a standstill there. He got a bit more flat-footed in the last round, if memory serves me right.
Yeah.
But by the last round, I don't think Povetkin's gonna have that mustard on his shot anymore.
No, it's not going to matter by then.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to matter by then. But as far as movement's concerned, you won't find many heavyweights, if any heavyweight, with the kind of movement that Hunter brings to the ring. So,
Alexander Usyk, there's not really anybody else that can move as well as him at a high level.
That's a good point. At a high level, yes, there is Alexander Usyk. Yeah, so I would say Usyk and Hunter are the best movement in terms of footwork that are in the heavyweight division right now. Big boys boxing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that fight. I was got all excited when it got announced. So, yeah, I think Michael Hunter can go a long way, and I think a lot of people are underestimating him. Starting to make a little bit of a name for himself now, but I think many are going to be surprised at how good this kid actually is.
Yeah, and I think it was somebody brought it up. Was it you brought it up a few weeks ago that his father was a heavyweight also, a boxer heavyweight also?
Yeah, Michael Hunter Sr. He was also called Michael the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
He had some good performances. A few times he didn't turn up in a few fights, but when he did turn up, look out. He's pretty much a carbon copy of his father when on a good night. So
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, you can go back and watch some of Michael Hunter Sr.'s fights, and a good one to go watch is Pinklin Thomas, who he thought that was a great fight to watch.
Yeah, I actually put that in the chat the last time around, and I think I'm going to do that again. Recommended viewing. Edit that one in. Edit. We're going to put this in the permanent chat section. What's his dad's first name? Was his
Michael Hunter.
Michael Hunter as well.
Yeah, Michael Hunter Senior. I think it'd probably come up with nowadays.
Yeah, Hunter. I'll just put Senior versus Pinklin Thomas. Versus Pinklin Thomas. Recommended viewing. Senior versus Pinklin Thomas. Recommended viewing. Okay, so that's for your entertainment, folks. At a later date, you got some recommended viewing there. What's happening in the chat? Where are we? Where are we? Okay, so Philip Carl Roberts says, I think Povetkin should win, but the only way I think Hunter can win is with a late stoppage due to fatigue. I think Povetkin has the experience to take the majority of the round on points. Okay, that's interesting. So Philip Carl Roberts has got Povetkin as the favorite. I think Povetkin has the experience to take the majority of the round on points. Okay, so that's a dissenting voice. That's a different opinion. That's good. That's good. I'm going with my official pick now. Make the official pick. My official pick is Hunter by what though? Hunter by points or late finish. That's my official pick. Big Boys Boxing.
Yeah, I've got Michael Hunter on points.
On points. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think Povetkin has the volume to be able to win the majority of rounds for me.
Neither do
Not
I.
against a young guy who's going to move around so much, and he throws a lot of punches himself, does Michael Hunter. But
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I don't see Povetkin outscoring Hunter, Philip. He may, but I don't see Povetkin outscoring Hunter. I think Hunter outscores Povetkin, but I think maybe late knockout by Hunter. But time will tell. Time will tell. Okay, so where are we? I think we're moving into the last one. The last one. What will it be? What will it be? Okay, so let me scrub that one from the books. A number of topics. I need to pick one. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that one. Okay, so final topic for discussion. Suleiman. Mauricio Suleiman says Canelo wants to remain a light heavyweight champ. So let me get into that one then. So yeah, Canelo looked good at light heavyweight, and Mauricio Suleiman is indicating that he might want to hold on to that belt. But personally, I see him dropping down to 168. I see him dropping down to 168. Maybe challenging one of the guys at 168. Seeing the lay of the land down there. Keeping an eye up at the light heavyweights. And bouncing back and forth. Because I do not see Canelo beating Beterbiev. Not say can't, but I just don't see. I mean, when you look at his performance, when you look at Canelo's performance against Kovalev, he was being handily outscored. Yeah, he was in Las Vegas, okay. So he knew he could keep his powder dry, okay. But Beterbiev, I think he's more of a powerhouse. He's younger, more of a powerhouse. And should I go on record? Should I go on record and say that I think Beterbiev knocks out Canelo? I think I just
I'd
did.
agree with you.
I think I just did. I think I just did. Big boys boxing.
Yeah, I don't see Canelo fighting Beterbiev, or Bivol even. And Bivol said that he'll go down to 168 to fight Canelo as well. But
Damn.
I guarantee you that Canelo ain't gonna fight somebody young and hungry without any restrictions. Even looking down at 168, the champions there, David Benavidez, too young, too much stamina and volume. Callum Smith, too skilled, too big, not going to fight him. Caleb Plant, no way. No way. That boy's a beast.
He is.
Billy Joe Saunders, maybe. That's a fight I've wanted to see for ages.
Me too.
Billy Joe's been calling him out, but shit, I still think Billy Joe will box his ears off. Too much movement.
I don't see Canelo touching Billy Joe.
No, exactly.
Can't catch him.
And like up at light heavyweight, like you say, we've got Artur Beterbiev, we've got Dmitry Bivol, and Beterbiev is 2 belts. So
yeah,
I could see him waiting until somebody holds a belt at either 160, 168, or 175 that he sees as the weakest link, and he'll whack some stipulations on it. You want to fight me and get millions of dollars? We're going to have a rehydration clause. We're going to have, something like a 5 days before the fight weigh-in. Whatever he can put in there. And this is what it's always been, and this is what we complain about with Canelo. So, you want to stay at 175 and not be an asterisk champion? Okay, fight Beterbiev or fight Bivol. Let's see how good you really are, because neither of those boys are going to let you have any kind of rehydration clause or anything like that. You want their belt, you fight them fair.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking. I think I'm sharing. What division is this? The light heavy. So we got Saul. Oh, he's number 1 now. He's number 1 ranked in the light heavyweights now, apparently.
They haven't updated the WBO yet.
Okay. So what is this? Light heavy, yeah. So So for the time being, Saul Canelo Alvarez, number 1. Dmitry Bivol. What do you think? How do you think he gets on with Bivol?
I think that fight would go the distance.
Yeah.
But I think Bivol's once again got the volume, the accuracy, the youth, the stamina to beat him into 12-round decision. As long as it's not in Las Vegas.
Well, yeah, and
they'll get the names for the wrong columns mixed up.
Yeah, and he won't. It will be in Las Vegas, won't it?
Well, like I say, if Canelo wants some legit belts, so some of these guys are going to have to stand up to him and say, "Well, look, you want my belt? You're going to fight me fair, and you're going to fight me where I want to fight. Screw you and your asterisk belt."
The asterisk is the asterisk champ, the champion, the asterisk pound for pound guy, Canelo, Mr. Asterisk. That's the reality of the situation. Kovalev has already beat Beterbiev, knocks him out, in my opinion. Artur Beterbiev knocks him out. Leader Alvarez. Well, he's not a champ, so he won't be fighting a Leader Alvarez. So really, the champs are Bivol, Dmitry Bivol, and Artur Beterbiev. Bivol beats him on points, like you said, and Artur Beterbiev knocks him out.
And even if he wants to hang on to his WBO belt, he's going to have a mandatory to deal with, and probably Gilberto Ramirez or Umar Salamov. Either of those guys are going to have to fight for the spot and fight him. So those are real fighters as well. So he could have a tough time. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting to see what Saul Canelo Alvarez's next move is. But if he goes against the best, if Jose Soliman is to be believed, and I did say if, if Mauricio Suleiman is to be believed, then it looks like Canelo might want take a chance of staying up there at the light heavyweight division. That would be very interesting. I'd be more than happy to see him go up against Beterbiev without Beterbiev having to sign up to Canelo's asterisks, extra stipulations, and what have you. It'd be nice to see a fair fight with Canelo asterisks. I question whether it's a fair fight. With Canelo adding in asterisks, I question whether it is a fair fight. If the argument is that Canelo has to have asterisks to make it a fair fight, well, how come nobody else needs asterisks?
Yeah, it's getting to the stage where I'd like to see Canelo get knocked out just because he's got so many asterisk wins.
Yeah, well, I think that's not an uncommon view. My view is along those lines. Just because of the asterisks, I want to see him fight without asterisks. And like I say, my view now is that if Canelo has to have asterisks in his fight to make it a fair fight, why is everybody else fighting without asterisks?
Yeah.
So the mere fact that he's adding asterisks where other people don't indicates to me, well, it raises the question, is it a fair fight when you're fighting Canelo Alvarez with added asterisks? And that's a topic for debate for the future. But for now, Big Boys Boxing, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you very much for joining. Big Boys has his own channel, for sure. Go check him out. Thank you, Big Boys Boxing, for joining me here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Boxing Talk with Raphie, episode 64.
My pleasure, man. Thank you very much for having me. Everybody, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss future content. And I'm out of here.
Thank you very much, Big Boys Boxing. Thank you very much. Okay, so what's going on here? The last few comments. I think Beterbiev would beat Canelo possibly by KO. Let's face it, if it went to points, they would probably hand it to Canelo. Beterbiev would probably go for the KO. He'd have to go for the KO. He would have to go for the KO. I'd like to see Callum Smith. What is this? I'd like to see Callum Smith against Canelo. I would 100% like to see Callum Smith against Canelo. I think that wouldn't look too dissimilar to the Kovalev fight, but it would be a younger Kovalev, a more energetic Kovalev, and a Kovalev with a stiffer jab. And of course, that Kovalev totally beats Canelo Alvarez. I don't know if there's any asterisks there with the rehydration. Oh yeah, you'd have the asterisks again though with the rehydration against Callum Smith. You know what I'm saying? So he'd want to weight drain him. He'd want to weight drain Callum Smith. Weight drain Callum Smith. That's a topic for discussion at another date. I must make a note of that. Canelo. Would Canelo weight drain Callum Smith? Interesting topic. Interesting topic. What else? Joe Saunders would probably outbox Canelo, but getting the judges to score it his way would take some doing. Yeah, that's a good point because he's not going to beat him in Las Vegas, and Canelo ain't fighting anywhere outside of Las Vegas. And Big Boys Boxing says peace to all. Y'all be safe out there. Okay. So, it's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the Boxing Talk with Raphie. And guests. In this case, it was Big Boys Boxing. Much thank you for coming on over. Boxing Talk with Raphie 64. Chopped up a number of topics. And now we have come to the end of the show. Thank you all for coming and participating and enjoying the Boxing Talk. Well, it's not just Boxing Talk, it's the combat sports talk. And it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comment, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And the only thing left for me to say is good night and blessed.